Hi Leo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-April 2024 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have from us, why they call it a bridge and a gap spread. And the way it works is look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Ace of Cups. So to me, this is that you might have actually come to a sudden realization in the past that you did have feelings for this person. So this, to me, is an indicator that for some of you, at the very least, you might have just been friends with this person for a while, and then the romantic feelings might have settled in a little bit later on down the line. But with the Ace energies, it doesn't necessarily mean that you acted on that desire, but at the very least, it looks like it came to the surface for you in the past. All right. Past energy on their side, we have the Three of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. And to me, this is that most likely they got a lot of attention from others, right? So I feel like they weren't necessarily the type to be proactive to go seek out love from another person, because I feel like they were just getting a pretty steady flow of energy toward them anyway. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Six of Cups. So this is actually a Scorpio energy here. And to me, this says that maybe after spending some time apart from this person, right, with the four, we see the Four Cups on one side of the stream and then two on the other with the people. So the Four of Cups, if we think about that, usually represents an energy of feeling disappointment with what's coming your way, right? So it could have just been one of those things where maybe you did have some time where you might have received romantic offers from others, maybe even explored relationships with others, but now in the present, you feel like that actually makes you want to reconnect with this person even more. And timeline wise, this could just be a matter of the fact that we have Mercury retrograde right now, which could bring those energies to the surface as well. All right. Present energy on their side, we have the Six of Cups. So interestingly, you guys both have Six of Cups energy in the present, although it looks quite a bit different in this deck, right? So here, could just be saying that for them, it's more of spending more time with friends, right? And realizing that maybe that's not as fulfilling as they'd like it to be. So we look at the person in the middle there, it looks like they're looking down a little bit, right? They don't necessarily seem to be enjoying themselves. So it could just be one of those things where you might have gotten to that conclusion in different ways, but it looks like both of you are realizing the value of the other at this time. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Five of Coins. So this is energy, usually points to you feeling left out in the cold, right? Going through some difficulties around the situation. And it looks like she could be holding a child in that image as well. So this could just be saying that maybe further down the line, you might feel like you have your doubts as to whether or not this person would be able to reciprocate the level of energy that you bring to the connection, right? If you think about the fact that we see Five Pentacles there, meaning if the other person brought their five, then you'd have a Ten of Pentacles situation, right? But you might feel like that's not necessarily the case. Or there could even be some disagreement around, whether or not to have children, for example, things along those lines. So yeah, it looks like that could be a disconnect between the two of you. Given that this energy represents the first 10 degrees of Taurus, it might even be something you feel toward the end of April, but it might not necessarily be a long-lived feeling, but at the very least, it looks like you will be feeling that way soon. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Two of Wands. So yeah, to me, this almost looks like it's saying that they might get encouragement from a friend of theirs to actually reach out to you and express how they're feeling, right? Because like I said, it looks like the two of you spent some time apart and maybe just started to realize the value of the connection with each other. But again, I don't necessarily feel like it's clear as to whether or not the two of you communicated that to each other. So I feel like this is saying that there could be someone in their environment that's actually encouraging them to step up and express how they're feeling. Right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is a Pisces energy here, and usually it points to energy of feeling like you've gone a certain distance around the situation, but then feeling like it's not as fulfilling as you'd like it to be. So some of you might, again, like I said, maybe feel that way that, okay, maybe there is a certain amount of love there, but I don't know if I can necessarily rely on this person to show up in a more stable commitment, right? So it could just be one of those things that you have your doubts around. But the artwork in this deck always stands out to me as a little bit unique as well, because just given her stance, it leaves at least a little bit of wiggle room to say that maybe this is her in the process of getting up to leave now, or for some of you, maybe she already went through that journey and she's returning. So, something to keep in mind with that. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the King of Swords. So, this is Aquarius energy here. And what I get from this could just be saying that this person, on the one hand, might be very good with communication, but at the same time, there could be certain points that they struggle with. So, if we look at the artwork, we actually see their sword is broken. We see the tip of it is on the ground. So, it could just be one of those things where they might actually have some blind spots when it comes to communication. And in this case, it could be around their emotions, right? Because, like I said, it looks like they have a person in their circle who's encouraging them to come forward and tell them, like, yeah, you should totally tell Leo how you're feeling, right? So it could just be one of those things that they might struggle with where you might see them as very communicative in other areas, but it could just be one of those things where that's a bit of an area where they struggle as far as expressing emotions. All right, moving on to your oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love oracle card deck. I'm just going to pull a single card from this deck. Got one there. And next we'll see what we get from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Same situation. That's going to pull one card from this deck as well. Then we'll read the messages from both cards and wrap the reading up with that. Got one there. Okay, so first we'll see what we got from the Messages of Love card. All right, we have Denial. It says, detach with love to clearly see the truth. So interesting message there, right? Because for some of you, like I mentioned with that Five of Pentacles or Five of Coins in this deck, energy in the future, like I said, it looks like for some of you might come to the realization that, okay, yeah, I totally have those feelings for them, but as for whether or not I could rely on them to show up in a serious way for a stable commitment could be another story, right? So maybe you still view them through the lens of, okay, this is someone who just likes getting a lot of attention, right? So it could just be one of those things where that could be where the disconnect is, and you have your doubts as to whether or not you could take them seriously. And what I will say is, again, keep in mind we do still have the Mercury retrograde energy too. So I would say just give that a little bit of time to sink in, right? So I feel like this is saying if you start to feel that way, let's say, especially, like I said, right around the start of Taurus season, just maybe ride it out for a couple weeks at least, just to see, because that'll give the Mercury retrograde post shadow period time to subside and everything by around, like, let's say mid-May. Everything should be a lot more clear, energetically speaking. So, because like I said, it looks like they will put an effort in for a lot of you, but could just be one of those things where they could struggle communicating as far as their emotions go. All right, and we have Higher Power. There's the artwork, and the number is 4. So let's see what this has to say. All right, the relationship message says it's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power, called God, Goddess, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority. The appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connections and remain aware of your true nature. So yeah, that was an interesting message there, right? Especially talking about deep spiritual bond between you and another, because that could explain why the two of you might both be feeling that Six of Cups energy right now, right? Where, like I said, it looks like you might have arrived to this conclusion in different ways, but it looks like you're starting to appreciate each other more, possibly even through the absence of each other. But at the same time, like I said, yeah, it looks like they might struggle a little bit with expressing their feelings, but it looks like they will be getting encouraged to come forward to do so. So if you are feeling that way, I'd say, like I said, give it a little time and see if that's just a temporary thing or if it's more permanent. Because, like we said, we do still have the Mercury retrograde energy right now, and then really the post shadow period should be done completely by mid May. All right, so whatever resonates with you guys, we'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.